here we go. Let's get into this reaction. Right, y'all shouldn't have never let me out. Y'all shouldn't have let me out the cage, man. Y'all should have left me in the cage. The beast is here. The beast is here, and I got my MacBook, and I got my boy. Y'all shouldn't have let me out the cage. Here we go. Let's listen to this guy.
That's good money, especially with no kids. We have no big overhead. That's great.
We going back. We going back. We going back.
I'd rather make 50K and my wife make 50K before I go and make 250 by myself and be the only income.
All right, y'all. First and foremost, we have to go to math class, y'all. Please, please. We got to go to math. And also, we got to be aware of context. Dude, you rather y'all household income be 100K than 250K? I don't care what else we got to go on. Y'all still going to have to take care of the kids. Y'all still going to have to do everything else that you would have to do in a house. You still going to have to do it, bro. So why would you choose 100K over 250K a year? And then, hold on. Let's talk about context. Why not have a plan, what you're supposed to do with your spouse? Let's have a plan and say, hey, babe, let's go ahead and make a 10-year plan where I bring in 250K and you raise the kids for 10 straight years. Okay? 250K, that's 2.5 mil, before taxes, all that. By that time, we'll be able to invest in so many opportunities that we'll be rich forever. We'll be rich without having to work. By that time we be done investing in so many multi-unit living buildings, 4 units, 6 units, got buku rent coming at you. What are you talking about? That's just one investment style, bro. What are we talking about here, man? The math ain't mathing. And you know what? And I'm not surprised. Let's hear.
Bringing $110,000, $120,000 together, that's good money, especially with no kids. We have no big overhead. That's great. You go on vacations whenever you want to. All you gotta do is just.
Okay, so he brought in with no kids, so maybe I missed that part. Okay, he would rather go 100. He would go 50K to 50K with no kids than 250K with kids. I'm still choosing the 250K because even with kids, that's what 25K a year that you got to spend on kids. That's still gonna be more. What is he talking about, bro? Now, if he's talking about a 30-year career of doing this, then yeah, I'm kind of with him a little bit. Even still, I could understand what he's saying. But just a basic 10-year plan for you and your wife, for you to bring home 250K versus y'all bringing home 100K together, man, stop it.
Work your shift, split everything, and y'all good. It's not really splitting, y'all locked in together, to be honest. Versus a man that makes 250K, has to take care of the kids, has to take care of his wife because she doesn't work. That money is long gone. And he's carrying most of the stress. His work-life balance is upside down because he has to bring in all of that income from all of those people, for all of those mouths to feed. So
no, bro. What happens is the 100K that you was about to take, you use that first 100K to handle all of that, and then you use that extra 150K from the 250K you made, and you invest that or you save that for investments. What are you talking about, bro? Do you know what type of credit investments you can make with 250K versus bringing in 100K? What are you talking about, bro? You could get a credit investment for probably a $6 million apartment building, and they will give you a mortgage to buy a $6 million, $4 million apartment building, and you could collect rent on that and pay that mortgage off with the rent you collect. You ain't even spending no money just off your credit alone because you are good for 250K a year. What are you talking about, man? All right, so I wanted to bring this back because I want to bring some clarity to it. So, y'all, basically, when I'm saying being financially illiterate, I'm talking about First and foremost, I pointed out that if you're looking at it as a whole, as a household income, 50K and 50K is 100K versus you bringing in 250K by yourself. Now, just as a household, that puts you at 150K surplus. So just that right there is like, come on now. Now I understand what he's saying. Everybody doesn't want to live the same type of lifestyle. So he may not want to be the guy that's working 20 hours a week to make 250K, But what I'm trying to say is we have to be able to look at things in a in such a way where it's not for the moment, it's for the future. Now imagine I mentioned this being on a plan with your wife and say, hey, I'm okay with doing this for now because it's going to put us in an amazing position in the future. If I'm okay with doing 50K and 50K, that means I'm okay with being able to live off 100K. So if you're okay with being able to live off 100K, that means if you take the 250K option, you can just use 100K of that and have 150K of that freed up for the whole year. You know what I'm saying? And you take 10 years of that on a 10-year plan, that's 1.5 mil. So over this 10-year time, you could be participating in long-term investments, generationally wealthy investments. For example, I would look for doors. I mean, that's just my thing. I already own some properties, but I would look for multi-unit properties. I would look for maybe, and this is where I was talking about credit. Imagine the amount of credit you have available to yourself making 250K versus 100K. 250K, they mess around and give you $3 million or $4 million worth of three to $4 million worth of mortgage. So you can take that and purchase a 10-unit apartment building, and you get 10 rents every month. You could use that to pay off the mortgage until the mortgage is done. And now that whole apartment building is yours for the rest of y'all's family's lives. Like the long term investment thinking, And then on top of that, the game really people don't know about that I'm about to share anyway is that you don't even have to have that in your name. While you're making 250K a year and your wife's at home, she could be starting y'all's uh, small business. And based upon the services she provides, she could have a cleaning business. All right. And you can pay her as an employee if she does your taxes or if she does any type of other work for you, cleaning your house. You could pay her for that. She could be your employee. All right. She could be booking you meetings, working as your employee, whatever type of small business y'all want to run. And you can pay her through that. And once again, when you apply for an LLC, limited liability company, is called that because if something goes wrong, you personally have limited liability. That means they can't come after your personal assets. They can only come after the business's assets. So you'll never, you'll always have something. There's people out here living and riding around in cars and living in houses, and none of it's in their name, but it's in their business's name because their business garnered so much positive credit ratings because they've been running their money through their business and they've been running their business. So not only am I saying that the 250K yearly mark gets you the better credit score, but it also allows you to take advantage of opening small businesses and moving assets into the small business's name, limited liability, and so that you'll now not only have access to personal credit, you'll have access to business credit. And everything you do in that vehicle, you could write off on your taxes as business and as well as for the house. Anything you're doing in the house, you can write off as tax. If I got to replace the roof and the house is part of where my wife works for our small business, I can write that off as a business expense. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know all the game. So I'm just giving stuff that I know and stuff that exposes our lack of financial literacy sometimes and why the 250K play would make the most sense. I mean, there's no way that I'm going to pass up $150,000 more per year because I have this idea in my mind. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a 30-year plan. Me and my wife can set this up for just to be a 10-year plan. And all the while, we're investing in long-term passive income streams. So again, I just wanted to put that in there too, and to help people to understand exactly, understand better exactly where I was coming from when I was saying what I was saying. We ain't mathing around here, man. These years, around these years, where's the math? Where's the math?
Money gets stretched. So yes, 50-50 is better than single income.
Do y'all want me to play it again? Did y'all catch it, or do y'all want me to play it?
We don't need you to play it again, Ton, man. We get it, bro. This dude's mathematically challenged. And he has no context in his argument. If it were me and my wife, I would say, baby, that's a 150K in difference a year. Baby, you go ahead. You take care of the kids. I got the 250K for 5 years. After that, we'll be invested in multiple passive income streams, and neither of us will have to work for the rest of our life. And our children's college will be paid for. What are we talking about here? This is the sound of somebody who's just financially illiterate. He doesn't even know what to do with that amount of money. So that's why he's talking that way. All right, y'all. It's Lou Insights, man. Love God, love creation. You know what I'm saying? Love life. And I love you. All right. I'm out.